Hello, I'm Reyer Gerlagh, Professor of Environmental Economics at Tilburg University. I frequently use computer models for my research. After COVID-19 emerged as a pandemic, I read many articles and I thought about the models describing the spread of the virus. I like to share my summary of those models. I am not an epidemiologist nor a virologist. My description has not been tested by fellow scientists and is mainly a summary of my own understanding. I hope my explanations are of help if you want to understand what is going on. This is the second video of a series. In this video, I tell about the two phases of COVID-19 policy. Most countries locked down the country after discovering how quickly COVID-19 spread. Then, after the number of sick people has fallen sharply, the lockdown will end, but interventions remain to keep the spread of COVID-19 small. This is called suppression. Here I explain how it works. Before we locked down our countries, the number of COVID-19 patients increased by a factor of 4,000 per month. In the first video, I explained how that works. The hospitals were stretched, and in some countries the intensive care unit capacity was insufficient. In order to prevent COVID-19 patients from being admitted to hospital, the ICU units were expanded and measures were taken to reduce the inflow. That is the lockdown. Practically, the lockdown means that the R had to fall substantially below 1. I repeat briefly from the first video. The reproduction R is the number of transmissions per person who is infected. The R was about 3 at the start of the COVID-19 outbreak. To get it below 1, anyone with symptoms should stay at home in isolation. This may prevent 30% of infections. Everyone should also keep their distance and wash their hands. This may prevent another 30% of infections. And people should have fewer contact moments. Think of 30 contact moments instead of 100. Due to the combination of measures, the R is lowered from 3 to 0.42. With that R, the number of infections decreases rapidly. What should we do after the lockdown? A bit strange perhaps, but for the interventions after the lockdown, the number of patients does not matter much. It is necessary not to raise the R above 1. If that were to happen, COVID-19 will increase exponentially again, and the ICU units quickly fill up. The measures after the lockdown are therefore aimed at ensuring that the R does not exceed 1, independently of whether a country targets a very low number of sick people or allows for a steady flow of new infections. Suppressing COVID-19 is the new normal. Anyone with symptoms should be in isolation. That doesn't change when the lockdown is over. Everyone should keep their distance and wash their hands. That does not change either. Most importantly, we want to be able to see more people. The children want to go to school. Shops and restaurants want to open. People want to go to work. In order to achieve as much as we can, we must take all measures that restrict the number of infections per contact. The tricky part is that we don't exactly know the system parameters. If the number of COVID-19 patients increases, we will have to resort to stricter measures again. Unfortunately, that is essential. As long as there is no vaccine or a drug or group immunity, we cannot go back to the old normal. This was the second presentation of a series. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it helps you understand COVID-19 better. As scientist, I add a disclaimer. I am Professor of Environmental Economics. I am not an epidemiologist. I have read a lot of medical literature about COVID-19, but if you find the mistake I made, please let me know. Thank you.